Friday's recap begins at midnight because I arrived to my friend Tina's house. There's Tina. And I needed to sleep somewhere that was way closer to the shoot than where I live. So, spent the night with her. And it's funny, we stayed up late and we were watching all these videos that we've done together and her film that's submitted to the film festival. But I can't show you that because you got to see it in person. Since I slept at her place, I woke up still super early because the shoot was far at 5:30 a.m. Did a whole transformation at her house to be morning ready. Morning is normally not my thing, in case you didn't know, but it has to be sometimes if you're trying to execute your job. You know what I mean? The next step was picking up Craig, and I was so tired. I asked Craig if he would be willing to drive, and so he's trying to connect the music to the car, and it was taking so long, but I was trying to be so patient because we still had a long drive to go, and I was just grateful. And the reason I needed him to drive is because I'm still a student and it's like finals week, so I needed to finish all my papers. Shout out to Tina, who made smoothies in the morning before she had left and before we left, and so we were able to drink our smoothies and jam out. And I was glad we figured out his music because it sounded pretty good, and I was tired but still being productive writing my papers for school. So thank you, Craig, for driving. Once we got to Detroit, I love seeing the murals and all that stuff, so on the drive I had to just take a shot of this beautiful building. The first shoot was at a school, and we were interviewing students and support staff who advocate for student voices. That was awesome. This young girl was my favorite interview of the entire day because we had a 2-shoot location shoot. So this was the first location and she was the second interview of the day, and I absolutely adored her. On the drive to the next shoot, I saw this sign and it made me laugh so hard I was crying because I was like, did they spell car wash wrong on purpose or with a K? What? The next location was gorgeous. It was kind of hard to find, but once we got there, I was like, whoa, look at this entrance, honey. Gorgeous. When it was time to go inside, it was just a gorgeous location, and we had some natural lighting from the windows. And my biggest concern was sound, but there was no one else going to be utilizing the space at all, so it wasn't like a space that other guests were coming in. So we decided to go ahead and set up here, and Craig is taking the shot as I am totally prepping for the interview. So he's walking around, but isn't that space gorgeous? Overall, the shoot went well at ball locations, but we were tired. And if you know me, cookies are my safe space, and so is a coffee. And so I had to go ahead and get a latte. We were going to offload footage, but then I realized I forgot the SD card reader because I was traveling so much. So we decided to drive on back. And this time it was Craig's turn to take a break while I drove. And maybe it's evil I'm posting these photos, but they're just so funny. So when we arrived to the office, I noticed our Telly Award. That's right. We are an award-winning team together. So Craig actually is technically the awardee because it's an award for cinematography. So that's the videography, the shooting. And so we won a silver Telly last year for spiritual warfare. And I'm the producer credit on there, but you have to check it out. I have a book for it, and there's poetry videos. And so before we got into offloading footage, I had to just be really silly with our award, reminding us that, hey, there's many more awards to come, and I'm preparing for my red carpet as we walk and pose and yes, be extra. So that's it. That's the recap for the day. Toodles.